What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. We are headed into the weekend. Hopefully, everyone is having a great day. We are super excited for vacation. I'm sorry that we will not be recording next week or giving you guys any episodes, but we will be back after that. We have a special guest here with us today for the intro, but before we get to him, Francesca, how are we doing?
I'm good. I'm so excited for this 4th of July break. It's insane. I hope everybody else is doing something fun for the 4th, got good plans, enjoying the week. For my fellow employees at Barstool, that everyone, enjoys the week off. This is
That's so nice of you.
Yeah, well, this is a week that I feel like everyone within the company looks forward to so much, because it actually really is a week that people can kind of take off and get some quality time with friends or family or whatever it is. So hope everyone has a lovely break. I'm fucking pumped. I'm ready. Not to rush us through this podcast, but I'm ready to wrap it up.
Fran's ready to get to Italy already. She goes on her family vacation to Italy every year.
I'm ready to wrap it up. But now, Noah, what are you doing for the 4th? Staying where you are?
I'm just staying where I am I'm on the Cape, but nothing crazy. Not going to Italy.
Don't get too crazy, Noah.
No, you've only been living on the Cape for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, we have Dana here because if you guys have been listening to the past few episodes, we've mentioned our vlogs, and they're done now. All the stops are out. Seattle has been put out. I think people were hoping for some other footage in there that we left out. Dana did a great job. Dana did a great.
Okay.
Dana did a great job editing.
I had it in the first cut.
Yeah, no, I know. We decided as a group.
I wanted it in. I wanted to keep it in.
I think everyone wanted to keep it in besides myself, so we cut it out. But
that's actually not true.
Yeah, Fran didn't want it in.
It wasn't anything crazy.
No, it wasn't anything crazy. Yeah, just a little something.
You know what we should have done? We should have had Dana make like an end credits scene where like there's a full 2 minutes of credits of nothing. Like, what do we get? Credit to Dana, credit to myself, credit to Fran, like just really slow. And to go on, we list like all the locations we went to, all these places,
every restaurant, everywhere we ate lunch.
And it goes for like 2 minutes where people are like, oh God, I'm not sticking through to this. But at the end, there was like a 10-second clip at the end of the moment that everyone heard about.
Could have been something.
That would have been smart.
Yeah,
damn, I'm sad I thought about that right now.
We should put it at the end of this YouTube video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we just don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Except this, right?
Except everyone listening.
Us telling everyone.
It's an Easter egg.
Yeah. Something cute. But Dana had to step in and edit these vlogs. And he is an outsider to the Chicks in the Office team. He was not on these trips with us. He does not spend a lot of time with you guys.
Now I spend time with you.
Dana and I spend a lot of time together.
And little known fact that me and Dana did live together for like 2 years, even though I'd say we probably talked more the last couple of weeks than we ever did
100%.
living together.
Oh, you know what? That is funny. You guys lived together and I burned a hole through your couch.
You lived
below. Yeah.
And weirdly enough, I did live in an apartment below Noah and Dana. But also, I have seen Dana more in the last couple months than I ever did living.
We're
in the
like
same
best
building.
friends now.
Yeah, we are. We're roommates.
We like text every day.
Yeah, we have a special bond. For people who don't know, Dana is Marty's roommate. I feel like people are missing that clue.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
That's kind of has to do with this, but kind of not. You know how Noah's always like, Fran, Rhea, like your mics, make sure your mics are good because we're always talking. What are you talking to, Noah? Your computer?
Yeah, because I'm the producer. I'm not like talent. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but sometimes you get pretty chatty.
A lot of times you get chatty.
Based off these vlogs, I'd say you're talent. You're like 90% of the edit.
That just kind of came to me because in my headphones I was like, Noah sounds a little echoey, and then I was like, he doesn't even have a mic.
I had to fight for you guys to get mics. They're not going to give me a mic.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
all right, that's all I wanted to say. Okay, back to the vlogs.
Okay, back to the vlogs. I want you to go through, Dana, each person of the Chicks in the Office team and give your outsider opinion on them and then the group as a whole. And then maybe grade us. Like if you want as a whole, just like grade the group.
And he did the last three. He didn't. he didn't see or you did watch the first two, I guess, but you didn't watch like.
Well, did you watch the
two.
prank?
I watched the prank. I thought Fran was gonna slap someone in the face.
So did I.
It's funny because like I really never do anything with you guys like in Barstool, and seeing this, it's like a whole new world to me, and it was awesome. It was like, holy shit, this is their dynamic. I love the fact that it's like, I'll say for the group, I like that it's like you guys share the wealth. It's not just Ran and Freya, Freya and Ran. Rhea and Fran. It's not just Rhea and Fran. It's like Noah, Natalie, and Dev as well. It's like the big five.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
what we call ourselves.
That's like the little side characters. But I think Noah's a little. I think he's a little obsessed with the camera. I think.
All right, so let's start with Noah.
He likes the attention.
We're starting five. Got the full lineup for a basketball team.
I'll start with Noah. I knew this about Noah. I've worked. We started on the same day 5 years ago. He likes to say he doesn't like attention and he doesn't like the cameras and he doesn't like people talking about him, but he loves it. You see him going to these live shows and there's like 40-year-old woman taking pictures with him and everyone's chanting his name. He's like, no, I don't want to go out there. He loves it.
No, I think Rhea and Frank know. I run into the green room. Like I don't.
A little background info. One of the shows, we were like, Noah, get out there. Like, they screamed your name. He goes, they didn't even yell my name last show. Remember, Fran? He goes, nobody even yelled my name last show.
It was like, nobody cared last time.
Yeah.
And then he went out there and everyone was like, ah! Like throwing their bras at Noah as he ran out there.
So Noah, I think he's funny on camera. I'll give him that. But I do think he won't admit it, but he loves the attention.
Do you remember the name of his YouTube video that you bleeped
I remember what Fran said.
What did Fran say?
Can I say it?
I mean, you couldn't find it based off
that. I couldn't find it.
You trying to do a flip?
Something like that.
It was him trying to, but I couldn't find. I mean, granted, I really did not look that long, but I could not find it. I mean, Devin found it in 2
Devin's
seconds.
the only one who knows, and I'm trusting her.
Trust me, Devin won't show it to me. I have texted Devin on the side being like, please, as a birthday gift, can you show me Noah's video? And she goes, no.
I thought about looking for it, but I was like, I don't know if I want to find this side of Noah. Like, I like I know now. Yeah. I don't know if I don't want to change my opinion.
The bar mitzvah video, I'm fine with like us putting that out eventually, maybe. But the dance video, I'm not even joking. Like, I really don't want people to see it.
Why don't you want people to see it?
It's embarrassing.
He kept going. I just went hard. I went so hard.
Yeah,
no, I really did.
But what's embarrassing about a younger you dancing? That's funny.
Yeah.
No,
I have a ton of those videos out there on my old YouTubes. People can probably find it. I love it. I do have one of me like running in my boxers in 7th grade, like through the streets, and I have that shit. It's okay, Noah.
It's so much worse than you can.
I released me as King Louie.
You're proud of that. You bring that up like all the time.
True.
I am proud of that. All right. So Noah, he loves attention as much as he says he doesn't.
Him and Natalie bicker like you read about. I mean, I think that's just obvious. I could have made a whole episode of them yelling at each other in cars. She's good on camera as well. And Dev is like kind of the behind the scenes superstar to me. She's always here with she always gives you what you need, like when you need it.
She's a good energy behind the camera to hype you up.
And then Fran is always eating what's it called? Meat and cheese plates. I like that. Like every time I see you in the green room, you're like, where's the meat and cheese? That makes me laugh. Rhea, a lot of the time you're in sweatpants and a sweatshirt. I respect that. But that's just like I see you like that every day, so it doesn't surprise me.
That would upset my parents. They've been my mom. I told you about this. My mom, called me recently and was like, "You're not looking good." Like she was just like, you know, like you got to get back to dressing up and stuff. Like I'm seeing you wearing baggy clothes all the time, but it's comfortable.
The overall feeling of the group though was very wholesome. Like I enjoyed it a lot. I loved seeing it. Like your guys day in and day out because it was just like very wholesome. You know, except for Noah.
I wouldn't describe us as a wholesome group, but I think.
Well, he said wholesome except for Noah.
I think I am part of the wholesomeness. Like, no. I think I am. Like, I think we shared some. I'm trying to think of like.
Dana, from watching the footage, do you think Noah has the ability to ever admit when he has done something wrong?
No.
Yeah, thank you.
And the best part about the Seattle vlog was when he was like, Oh, I never sigh. I never do this. And in my head, I was like, dude, I have 4 clips of you doing that in the last episode. I can pull that out in 2 seconds. But it was really fun. I actually enjoyed it. I'm happy to help in the future. But I
feel like we're having like a job interview.
I'm serious.
I also kind of feel like Dana watched the 5 of us for 2 weeks and now he wants in. Like he's like,
I feel like he wants to travel. Like he's like, oh, look at these cool places they're going to.
He's like, I want in the group.
Marty was already on the last trip, so we could just add Dana.
We actually talked about this the other night. If me, Marty, and Dana just started vlogging ourselves, like all we were doing was eating Burger King, and we were just like, people might be interested in this, or maybe not.
I also like your fans are very just like positive and happy. I like that a lot. In the Barstool world, you can get a lot of people being negative. The Cito fans, and by the way, I came up with Cito. Did you know that?
I think I remember this.
I told Noah that it should be called.
No, it was like very early on.
Actually, yes.
I think it was like Dana and this other guy Trey, and they like were saying like
other guy Trey. You're gonna say other guy Trey? Whoa! Oh my God! No, I'm gonna tell. Holy shit! What?
I mean, no one knows who Trey is.
Yeah, but you gotta give him some respect.
I mean,
describe Trey's job.
I mean, he's an amazing animator, graphic designer.
This other guy Trey.
Yeah, also lives in their building. No, but they were just like they said Cito like so casually, and I was like, "What is that?" And they're like, "Chicks in the Office." And I'm like, "Oh wow."
Genius. I had every producer's nightmare on the Portland vlog. The hard drive broke and it just stopped working. And I was on Long Island 2 hours away from the office, so I didn't have any backup footage. So I was panicking. I was like, I also had big plans for the weekend of like getting shit faced responsibly.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So I just kept going back and forth between getting drunk and editing. So that was great because I sometimes feel like I'm a better editor when I'm a little tipsy.
Honestly, that was the most shocking thing was like you'd be texting like about that. And then I'd see on Instagram like you drinking. And I'm like, all right, I don't even know if he'll send it. And then at like 3 a.m., you'll like send a cut. I'm like, did he just like drink all day and then go home and edit?
Yeah, I love it. But that was a nightmare.
That's a true editor.
It was the hard drive broke. And as a producer, that's the worst thing ever. And so I went on like a 3-hour voyage to all these different stores, Best Buy, all these places. And I finally found a place that has this one specific cord that I've never heard of. And I plugged it in and I'm sitting at a Starbucks on Long Island and it's crowded as hell. I'm sitting there. I'm like sweating balls and it turns on and I'm like, ah! I start yelling. I'm screaming like, yes! And that means I didn't have to go into the office on a Friday night at 2 a.m. I could just kind of relax a little bit. And all the work was in front of me, and everyone's staring at me like, "What are you doing?" I have 15 wires like on the Starbucks table.
Dana texted me. He said, "I wish you could see the day I've had. Just an unreal set of events. They could make a movie out of what I just did in 2 hours."
I was in some like bumfuck town in like East Long Island with this little store, and I found the thing I needed.
Whenever Dana texts me, I get like really nervous because it's either like it's never really anything very important, but the way that it's phrased is always like it's the most important thing in the world. Like that he texted me that day about that. One time he texted me, "Rhea, can I call you?" And I was like, it was like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, oh my God, yes. I call him and he's just asking me, this is a good time to ask them this question though. There was a Coke bottle in my car that was a 2 liter, right?
It was a 2 liter.
2 liter. And
plastic bottle.
Big one.
Oh, big one. Big one. 2 liter. Okay.
And it just sat in my car for days. Okay. In a hot car.
Yeah.
And apparently Dana saw it and a lot of the soda was missing.
This much was gone. A whole quarter of it was gone. And her and Marty said none of them had a sip.
We didn't have a sip.
And
none of us had a sip.
Disappeared out of the bottle.
Is that like, can it evaporate?
Yes, it evaporated. Yes, in hot water. Yes.
No, like if the temperature in the car is really hot.
Yes, it evaporated. And he's calling me. He's like, wait, I got to ask you something. Did you take a sip of this soda in your car? I was like, you texted me, can I call you? I thought something happened.
Was the bottle ever opened?
Yeah. No, the bottle was never opened.
When you opened it, did you hear the snap?
Yes.
So then that shows you no one drank it.
I know, but how
he doesn't believe no one drank it.
That's just science.
Fran, are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care.
We're going to test it out.
This is aluminum. This is talking about cans.
Either way, me and Rhea are like best friends now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, anytime you guys need anything, hit me up. I'm your guy. Cause like, I fucking love it.
Amazing.
I love that. And I feel like we're going to do more vlog. Oh, we're going to have something coming up for you soon.
All right.
I'm going to go to Fran's apartment. I'm going to film her doing skincare routine. But I'm going to be the one behind the camera, and then we'll give it to you to edit.
All right.
Dana's like, great. Yes, exactly what I was hoping you guys
it'll
would
be
say.
Dana's like, I'll edit vlogs. I love vlogs. And you're like, oh yeah, we're going to like do like a shopping haul now.
No, it'll be a vlog. It'll be a vlog.
Also, how can I not bring this up as the beer guy? No, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was rough. That was rough. I'm not a chugger though.
He did really throw a disclaimer on that before we drank the beers that he does not chug liquid of any form.
But the raw footage, he kept nudging, being like, I want to do this. I want to do this. So
well, I thought that I could probably beat them. Like,
I also have another issue with Noah. You asked me to come on this podcast. Actually, I asked, but I'm just getting the Zoom. I'm not getting the full cameras. I can't edit those.
Listen, I said I wanted to wait. I said I either wanted to wait till we were all there, or I said maybe Dana could like set it up and
me the C200. Let me look nice and crisp on this.
All right, well, maybe
this is a whole new world for me. I need people to see this face.
I wanted it like that.
But you're the one that's not here.
Yeah,
no, I know,
you're
but
the one that's not here. So how
you can't be like, oh,
we didn't want to wait 2 weeks to have Dana on.
I agree with that. And I said this morning, I thought, oh, you know, it'd be funny. Dana sets up all the cameras today, and he films himself.
Okay. It's all right.
We just
but like that's just
Dana that's like coming from vlog editor to full producer.
Now I understand. Now I understand what you guys deal with.
Yeah. It's also then it'd be like a cute little guest stint for Dana turns into a full blown day of producing. Like that's not what
he said. He just said anything we need.
I know that's true. That's true. I do have to do that 2:00 thing.
Yeah. Okay. So Dana has to go. Everyone follow Dana on Instagram. He's
I'm
trying
almost
to get
at 100K. 300
okay.
more.
All right.
So Dana Beers on Instagram. Be respectful because I love his girlfriend very much,
She's
but also follow him.
Yes. I love you guys.
That was a good clarification.
Yes. Thank you, Dana.
Yeah.
Follow and do not slide.
Do not slide.
And do not slide, but follow.
I love my girlfriend very much.
And support him and his girlfriend from afar. They're very cute.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Dana. If you guys are looking for the best lightweight summer hoodie, something that you can wear when you're on the beach and the wind is a little strong, or you got a really hot day, but you got a chilly night and you want to wear a nice sweatshirt. The Rhoback ladies hoodies are so great. They're soft. They're stretchy. They are so comfortable. They have them in great colors. It's honestly one of the softest materials I have ever felt. I love taking these on vacation with me or taking them to the beach to just have for, those cooler nights. It's so great. They also have these amazing performance polos, which is the best material out there. All the men in my life love the performance polos from Rhoback. Joe, my dad, like everybody's wearing them all the time. They think they're great. They have great fun prints. They fit so great. They also have an awesome collar. When you wash them, they stay really well. It's a material that you don't have to worry about kind of like falling apart. It's made with moisture wicking performance fabric, and they're all tagless, so they never itch. We love the Rhoback products in the Mariano family. I think you guys will love them too. If you need a gift for anybody in your life, or, you want to get out there, maybe you're a sporty girl, maybe you're a golfer, you play tennis, something like that. The Rhoback stuff, so great for that. Quarter zips, the performance tees are also, I don't know why I just went like this. So I said tees, performance tees are also great. So you can use the code CHICKS on Rhoback.com for 20% off your first order of performance hoodies, polos, quarter zips, and tees. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off with the code CHICKS.
So everybody, I saw Elvis. I saw it, and I'm ready to give my full review.
Let's hear it.
Okay. If you saw on Instagram, then I'm repeating myself here, but I feel like I must repeat myself. I now understand why Austin Butler thinks he's Elvis. I 100% get it. I am issuing an apology to Austin Butler because, my God, that man was phenomenal phenomenal as Elvis. Unreal, spot on, forgot it was Austin Butler. I'm afraid he's going to get typecast as Elvis. Like, that's how good of an Elvis he was. Also, the movie was 3 hours long. I felt like I was Elvis after walking out of the theater. I was talking in that tone of voice, and I wasn't even in the movie. So I fully understand Austin Butler now. I think he should go on to talk how he's talking for the rest of his life. He deserves it. He poured his heart and soul into that role. And, I was wrong. First of all, the set and the filming of that movie is enough to make you go crazy. I can understand why Austin Butler cut off his friends and family, ditched Vanessa Hudgens, became Elvis, because you had to fully immerse yourself into this role. Like, he crushed it. As for the movie itself, I wasn't like, I didn't love it. Like, I wasn't like, this is the best movie ever. I thought him as Elvis was better than the movie itself. It was like so captivating you wanted to keep watching Austin Butler. I'll say that. It wasn't like you were like, oh my God, where's this film going? Because if Elvis dies at the end, shocker. So it wasn't like, oh my God, where's this movie going? You know where it's going. You just want to keep watching because Austin Butler is so captivating as Elvis.
What did you, now I can't add to it because I have not seen it. I thought I was going to be able to go. I was not able to. 3 hours is a long fucking time.
It's so long
to carve out time. I definitely will see it, but I feel like everyone was really looking for Rhea's review because she is the one that has had this relationship with Austin Butler. So to have Rhea's review is great. What did we also, I'll just ask you some questions then. What about Tom Hanks? I know you had some thoughts on Tom Hanks.
Terrible.
God, Tom Hanks is so punchable throughout the whole film. And he actually did a great job playing the character he was supposed to play, I think, because he did a great job making you hate him. He was so hateable. He disgusts me. He really disgusts me throughout the entire thing. There were so many times where I audibly laughed out loud throughout the
Tom
film
Hanks
because
or
of
at
Tom
Austin
Hanks.
Butler?
No. I didn't laugh at Austin Butler at all. Actually,
not a single chuckle?
Not a single chuckle, except for,
yeah.
When I first started out, they tried to put me in jail.
Yeah.
Even killed me for the way I was moving. That one I did laugh just because I had seen it so many times. There's the beginning scene, or like one of the beginning. It's not the beginning, but in the beginning of the movie, Austin Butler gets on stage as Elvis for the first time, and he starts gyrating and moving his hips, and they show each different girl screaming, like they're sitting in their chairs and they're just like, ah! I turned to Marty and I was like, I might get up and scream. And he was like, me too. Like you felt it in your body. Like you felt Austin Butler gyrating in your own hips, if that makes any sense. But Tom Hanks was so punchable and so hateable. So I think he did a good job with his role. Next question.
How much was Olivia, how do you say her last name? DeLong?
This is going to sound very conceited of me. Yes, this is going to sound very conceited of me. I think she did a fabulous job. Great actress. I'm a big fan of her. She was in The Society. I was like, I could have played this role. She had a couple sentences.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It felt like she wasn't really a major part of it.
She wasn't. She was there. Yeah. But she didn't have a lot of speaking lines.
Got it.
I was like, they really could have,
Yeah.
She was great, but.
So what would you, besides, I'm not even going to ask you to grade Austin Butler's performance. I feel like that was a 10 out of 10 for you.
10 out of 10. Oh my God, this man is a superstar. He really is. I couldn't believe our sweet Austin Butler, our sweet Sebastian was up there fucking moving his hips and sounding like Elvis.
Did you cry at the end? Or get emotional? I thought that my favorite part was the very end where they kind of went back and forth between Austin Butler and the real Elvis, his final performance.
I was too busy kind of singing along quietly because I love Unchained Melody, which I find very odd, or not odd, but a little interesting that the last song Elvis sang was Unchained Melody, which is not his song. So I thought that was interesting. It's a great song, though.
Do you think you liked Baz Luhrmann's style or no for the movie?
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Like some people were like, oh my God, I was so dizzy. Like that didn't happen to me. Like I didn't have a headache after. I thought that there were some parts of Elvis's life that could have been included if it was a different style of movie. Like for so long, I feel like all I ever heard about Elvis was that he had like this eating disorder where he would eat so much. And that's how he ended up getting a lot bigger towards the end of his life. And he was really unhealthy and I didn't see him eat at all. And so I was very confused by that. I was like, I saw him drink a couple Cokes and maybe have a couple fries, but he if you look it up, and I don't know how true it is or how untrue it is, but apparently he just ate a lot all day and these really greasy, fatty foods. And also I think he had a problem with drugs, which was touched on very lightly. And so maybe because his family kind of had a lot to do with making the movie, maybe they just wanted to touch on it and didn't want to make it a huge part. They also didn't show him dying. It kind of just was fast forward, he's dead.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't hate it and I wasn't obsessed with it.
What will you be leading the charge for Austin Butler to win Best Actor at the Oscars?
I'm gonna have to see the other films that are nominated at the time, but yes.
For at least you think he'll be nominated? He's got to be nominated.
He has to. If Rami Malek was nominated as Freddie Mercury and won, this guy was way better.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
This kind of reminds me very much of that situation. I remember watching Bohemian Rhapsody and being like, Rami Malek was great. I get it. I didn't love the movie. So I felt like that took away from some of it. And that's probably how a lot of people are going to view this one. But if he is that great, people will recognize that.
Right. I won't be watching this movie again for I love the movie. When you see a movie and you're for instance, because it's a really long movie. Other movies Top Gun, people will watch over and over again because it's an hour or whatever.
No, Top Gun's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh, really? I heard it was a lot less than that. Okay, well, bad example then. But there's some movies that you'll just watch over and over again. But when I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is a very long movie, I saw it 3 times in theaters and then watched at my own house a couple of times because I was really very interested in the movie itself.
Right.
Whereas this, I can only see myself rewatching it to bask in Austin Butler's performance once again. I just think he was that good. He really was. I feel like I need to eat my words for making fun of him so much because I get it now. It looked because there were parts obviously where Elvis is.
I was going to say though, Rhea, to cut you off, just because you did say many times that you were laughing, but you were not expecting him to be bad.
Yes, I did say
you
that.
were you said that multiple times. You're I'm going to see the movie. I don't think he's going to be bad. It's just the clips were making you laugh.
Yes, the clips of him talking like Elvis when he wasn't as Elvis were making me laugh. But I'm saying I'm eating my words because I now understand why he's still talking in that voice and why he's his head must be fully spinning and is so obsessed with this because there were times where Elvis is exhausted in the film, but you could feel Austin Butler was exhausted in the film. I don't know how to describe it. You have to see it. He was on, especially when he was on stage, were the times I think he most resembled and sounded like Elvis. Obviously, he wasn't doing all of the singing. The beginning was him, and then it was mixed later on. But just the moves and the way he looked and his mannerisms and just all of that on stage, including him being exhausted and all that, I was wow. I feel like Austin Butler is exhausted himself, and it's coming out in this role.
Now, you also received a DM from his estate.
No, from him.
From Elvis. Excuse me, Fran. Yeah, I know it's actually him.
Yes, from him.
It was so funny. Somebody was it's not actually him, right? And I was no, it's actually him. And then somebody wrote, it's verified. It's obviously him. People really think I'm so much dumber than I really am, but that's besides the point. You should have seen my face when I opened my DMs and I see Elvis reply to your story. I was it's creepy. It's
Something about the full name too makes it even funnier to me. Like Elvis Presley replied to your story.
I was like,
it's also
what?
it is kind of crazy that like the account is run of it for him, you know, but to have it be like just his name and not like, I don't even know. I can't even think of like what a potential name for, like if it was like the like Presley Estates or like something like that, where it was like, you know, it was him, but it's just like, it's just his name. The official page for the King of Rock and Roll is the bio.
Yeah, it was wild. And my dad, who goes, what was that? Was that Elvis DM'd you? And I said, yeah. He goes, verified? I said, yeah, it's verified. He goes, so it was the estate. I said, yes, Dad, I think it was the estate.
And it is just kind of baller to just have at Elvis. Like, was just the one name.
It was the perfect ending to this saga that is the Elvis film. Is Elvis coming back around and DMing me. And I said, Elvis himself said, glad you liked it. And I said, sure did, Elvis. Tell Austin Butler he's a star. No, I said tell Austin. I actually cut Butler out of it.
That's all we need now is Austin Butler to reach out.
We need Austin Butler on this show somehow, which seems like when people ask us who our dream guest is now, it's going to be Austin Butler. I don't know if Austin Butler will ever come on, though, with the amount of times I've made fun of him.
I feel like the whole internet.
A quick search. Yeah, not. We talked about it every episode for like 2 weeks straight.
Well, like there's like a billion TikToks that are just like mocking his voice.
So I saw something interesting that was funny, that Kaya Gerber dressed up as Priscilla Presley with Jacob Elordi as Elvis, and now she's with Austin Butler. And her brother's name is Presley.
For Halloween?
Yes.
Shit, I forgot about that.
And her brother's name is Presley. Kaya Gerber got a thing for Elvis.
She's never met Austin Butler before Elvis.
I mean, she has been dating him while he is Elvis. So
yeah.
Let me tell you though, he's Elvis. He is the new Elvis of our generation.
Ria's just so like, yeah, no, he's fucking Elvis.
No, he is.
Do you think he could tour like as Elvis?
Yes.
He's gonna be like Adam. He could be like Adam Lambert, Adam Lambert who tours and does Queen.
Like I said, I'm afraid that Austin Butler is going to be typecast as Elvis. They may do Broadway with Austin Butler.
Oh, they may do Broadway? Oh, I'm so sorry. Broadway?
Honestly, if I was Austin Butler, I think I would try to like tour as Elvis. Like,
why the fuck not? Milk it, baby.
Wait, I also have a question. Did Elvis really like go into the crowd and kiss every girl on the lips? Like,
they showed the footage of him doing it.
That's insane to me. Like,
yeah, I was like, Priscilla.
Imagine if Harry Styles did that today. Like Olivia Wilde sitting right there.
It would actually be a health concern because they'd faint.
I saw a very funny TikTok that was like, ew, Elvis, but like, please tell Harry Styles he should start doing this. But girls wanted it though. You know what I mean? Like they were like, Elvis.
I mean, if you were there, you wouldn't turn him down.
Yeah, it's very
very
interesting. It was quite I was taken aback.
Quite the motion picture.
I seriously, when all the girls were screaming in the beginning of the movie, I almost jumped out of my chair. Like I was like, I'm feeling what they're feeling right now.
Oh my God. Well, it sounds like now Rhea will be leading the Austin Butler fan club. She will make sure he is nominated for every award this award season.
One question I did have though, Noah, I'm curious your thoughts, and this was really bad, but I'll tell it anyway. Was Elvis's mother that overbearing? Because there was actually one point during the movie I turned to my friend. Or I didn't go with just Marty, by the way, because it sounds like my friend. I would have just said his name.
Yes.
But I said, wow, she's really annoying. And then the next scene, she was dead. And I felt awful. And I was like, oh, but also she was kind of annoying at some point.
She was annoying. And his dad was so dumb.
Yeah, his dad, classic case. It's really sickening. I'll say this. I had this thought after the motion picture, as you said, was you can't be happy when you're that big of a star. You just can't. We see it time and time again. Justin Bieber, he finally seems happy, but you always go through that dark period where you just can't be happy because nothing will recreate the sensation and love and adrenaline that you get from being on stage. Which is how I felt after the West Coast tour.
I was going to say, you said that kind of like on a way smaller scale.
It's on a way smaller scale.
It's unnatural. Like, that amount of fame is unnatural.
It's unnatural. We felt exhausted after doing our 2-week little tour where, and you're like, oh my God, the adrenaline of going on stage. And then afterwards, imagine what these people feel. Like this is, it's crazy. There are levels. They're, oh my God, they got to be all over the place. So it's actually really sad. I felt bad for Elvis watching.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's why they make these movies and we learn about them. And I think that's 100% going to convince everybody to go see the movie if you hadn't seen it already. And we'll be looking forward to hopefully Austin Butler starring as Elvis on Broadway.
We have a great interview coming up with Chloe Veitch, who you guys know from Netflix's Too Hot to Handle and The Circle. She's one of our favorites. But before we get into that, have to remind you, now's the time to be chilling out and enjoying your Coors Light. Summer is full of all these events. I know I got a ton of events. I had a wedding after wedding, all these parties nonstop. And the way to sit back, relax, chill out is with a wonderful Coors Light. Coors Light is the official beer of everything unofficial, celebrating those moments that truly make summer chill. What summer activities or unofficial moments would be enhanced without a Coors Light? So make sure you got one ready to go. They are mountain cold refreshment made to chill. It's cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's literally made to chill. Like we've said over and over again, all you're going to do is drink your Coors Light and chill out. And summer chill starts with Coors Light. So make the most of your summer, actually, with a chance to win exclusive chill merch, fun local experiences, even a trip to New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles. Enter to win at CoorsLight.com/chicks. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends 8/15/22. Game ends 9/6/22. 50 USDC 21 and up. Only void where prohibited. For rules, visit CoorsLightSummer.com. Remember, celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right, everyone, we are here with a special guest. We are joined by Chloe Veitch. You guys may know her from Netflix's Too Hot to Handle and The Circle. Chloe, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, girls.
We're very excited to talk to you. You have been one of my favorite Netflix reality stars. I feel like you're so fun. Everyone's like, I'd love to go out with Chloe. I feel like that's the vibe that you give off, and we love that. And now you are stepping into podcasts, and we got this new podcast, Bangin' with Chloe. How are you feeling? Great name. I know you just are starting to get some episodes out. How do you like it so far?
To be honest with you, like I got so many DMs when I come off of the back of like Too Hot to Handle or The Circle of like girls and guys like, Chloe, I want to be your best friend, or like, can we go out together? And I thought, well, what's the best scenario? Like, how can I make this happen? Because obviously I want to be friends with everyone. I thought, you know what? I'm going to start a podcast. But I had to dive deep into like what I love and what I'm passionate about. And that's sex. I love it. And not actually having sex, but talking about it and being crude and just being open and vulnerable with like my own insecurities in the bedroom and breaking stigmas and just having really funny conversations about like queefing and normal stuff that actually happens in the bedroom. None of this porn shit, like real life couples in real life relationships. I've loved every second of it so far. We've just released our 3rd episode today.
Now, where do you draw the line on what to share? So say you have sex with somebody last night, right? And then you're recording your podcast today. Are you giving the details of what happened last night, or is it more past experiences? Like, when do you know when to share or not to share?
I mean, to be honest with you, everything's a green light for me because I've got severe ADHD and anything that I think of just comes out like automatic. And
I feel you.
There's literally been a few times where I've said to the producers on the podcast, like, you need to cut that. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared to give too much away. Yeah. But I mean, so far so good. I've been extremely open. I recently started talking to someone and all of the up-to-dates with that is on the podcast as well. Yeah.
So do you ask this person that you're talking to, do people know who this is? Is it like a public person or more private personality?
He is in the public eye, but I've kept him secret. I don't want anyone to know yet.
Okay. And then when do you think you like tell people who it is? Take some time, like you make sure you really like him.
When I find out he's not a psycho, because
it's early days. I'm going to talk like I'm on Love Island now.
I love that. I was watching Love Island last night and I knew that we had you on today. And I was like, have you ever, well, now you're talking to somebody, who knows where that goes, hoping for the best. But have you ever watched Love Island and been like, I'd be really good on that show? Because I think everyone thinks that you would be great on Love Island.
To be honest, I get so many DMs and like, I'm not blowing my own trumpet here because like, I'm not Madonna, but every single message I get on Instagram is the question, would you ever go on Love Island? And I'm like, I've literally been on Too Hot to Handle. I can't go on Love Island because they wouldn't let me on.
You can't go on Love Island because you've been on Too Hot to Handle?
So basically, I applied for Love Island back when I was like 19, 20. And I got a phone call saying, can you come in and meet the executives? So I was like a couple steps away from going on Love Island. And Netflix contacted me. Like, we've got a contract for you to sign. We went all through the meetings and meeting the executives and stuff. And I ended up choosing Netflix over Love Island because I knew Netflix would give me more of a global audience. But I would love to go on Love Island. I would love to. However, they only have people that are out of the public eye to go on. They don't have like influencers or anyone like that.
I think they need a Love Island where they have people who already have been on other shows. Like that's where I see you going on. Well, even if you're allowed to, not allowed, but that's where I was like thinking, I was like, why don't they do like a Love Island All-Stars cast? And then it's like, they bring back other people that have been on. They bring back people from Too Hot to Handle.
That would kind of be like a British Ex on the Beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the style of Love Island.
Exactly.
Well, I can't say too much about it because obviously NDAs and contracts and stuff, but keep your eyes peeled because there are a few things that are going on that have already happened that are waiting to come out.
Okay, I like where this is going.
It's interesting. That means we're hot on the trail.
We know it.
We're coming up with the right ideas that people have already thought of.
We've watched a lot of these shows, so we know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, definitely. Chloe, with Too Hot to Handle, I find it so interesting because I really do feel like the fact that you were on that first season was the season that took everyone by storm because it was a new format and people didn't know what they were what to expect with it. And it just kind of feels like since that first season, they've done other seasons really fast and they just have not hit like that first season did. Why do you think that is? Like, do you think because like when you went on to Too Hot to Handle, you really did not know what the concept of the show was?
No. So to be honest with you, I think with any show that you watch, there's always a magic behind it. So like, when your mum or dad or whoever says to you, oh, there's a tooth fairy and you put your tooth under the pillow and you get £1. Well, with Too Hot to Handle, with the first series, it was like no one knew what was going on. So you had that element of surprise, that element of shock, the new concept, like what you've just said, and the press just picked it up and blew up all over lockdown. And they were comparing it to Love Island. So Too Hot to Handle and Love Island are like two massive rivals. but yeah, the second and the third season, to be honest with you, I feel like people just don't believe that they didn't know it was taught to handle.
Right.
That ruined the magic of it. So people automatically assume that they're just there to have sex because they know if they have sex and lose their money, they're going to make airtime because now they know how the game works.
Yes, that's so true. And I think that it's kind of impossible now. When the show didn't exist, it's a show that doesn't exist. So you obviously don't know the rules. But now when these people are being casted, auditioning, and they're giving them like sort of the premise, you're like, oh, okay, that sounds like too hot to handle. Like you kind of know what you're getting into. And I do think you're right that some people play into, you know, they want to be the bad guys of the season. They want to be the Francesca and Harry of the season because that's what everyone compared to. And they become like the most known from the show or one of the most known.
Yeah, I just feel like the last series that happened, everyone, I mean, they doubled the prize fund from 100K to 200K. And everyone in the villa knew we've got all of this money, we've got to spend it. And it was almost like a fight for survival. Like, who's trying to spend the most money to get the most airtime? And they lost all of the prize fund and then had to gain some back. And I think it just ruins the naivety of it, like the realness and the reality of the situation. Whereas me, when I went on there, I didn't want to kiss anyone because I stayed true to who I was. I ended up kissing Bryce and Corey, but I had no intentions of losing any money or like being that girl because I'm not going to pretend someone I'm not. Whereas I feel like now when Netflix are casting for Too Hot to Handle, the people that have been casted are really starting to play into that role of I'm the horniest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I definitely got that vibe from the last season. I tried to watch it and it just doesn't hit like the earlier ones did. But the fact that now when you had to make that decision early on, you know, you're applying for these reality shows, Netflix calls, how does it feel now? Because it's like you have this established relationship with Netflix because not only Too Hot to Handle, but then The Circle, and you did so well on The Circle that it's like you have a great, like now you could, I wonder if you could just pop on whatever show you want.
To be honest with you, I just can't believe that I even got on Netflix, to be honest with you, because I'm just so normal. Like I grew up on like a council estate. For anyone that doesn't know what that means, it's like my mum and dad don't own their house. It's like basically given to them from the government. So from going from that to being on a Netflix show, it's just absolutely like it's crazy. And like the one thing that I always say to people that are like, oh, how does it feel going on like Netflix shows and stuff? And what do you wish for your future? I just say to them, like, listen, I worked in a fish and chip shop and I was a sales negotiator for an estate agent. I wasn't earning that much money, but I was happy. So if I can do it, anyone fucking can. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's just never to pretending to be someone that you're not. But yeah, going on The Circle was amazing because I could just be myself, obviously, because the cat program as well. I could actually be myself, which was hard because everyone thought, why is Chloe on The Circle? What's going on? Leave me.
What was it actually
like? Lance Bass.
Yeah, like Lance Bass. What was it actually like being on The Circle? Like could you leave that room? Like give us what it was like waking up day to day in your apartment, because somebody actually reached out to me, like casting whatever, and they were like, are you interested in The Circle? And then I never really followed up because I was like, I don't know if I can go this amount of time not speaking to people, leaving an apartment. Like I just take us through that.
It was awful. It was disgusting. I had to isolate for a month before going onto the show. Actually isolating on the show. My fridge stunk because I couldn't clean it out. I lived with my parents at the time. No, I didn't actually. I'm lying. I lived on my own, but only for a short while. So I'm one of them girls that wants to move out, but goes to their mummy for clothes washing and stuff like that. So being on the circle was a real test, but not only for my mind, mentally, I had to wash the dishes, cook my own meals, and I hated it. It was awful.
Take us through the mental state of like not being able to talk to anybody. Like, could you even talk to producer? Like, was there anybody you could talk to at any point?
Right.
Or were
Face
you like,
to face.
I'm losing my mind because I'm alone in here and I'm going crazy.
So I feel like it's really clever, actually, because when you think about it, there was a scene on the circle, I don't know if you remember it, but I'm in the bathroom and I'm convinced that the group are talking about this person on the circle that has two heads. I was like, they were talking about a two-headed snake. And I
do remember this.
I was like, two-headed snake, what the fuck? Like, someone in here, obviously, like, I don't know, like, that happens, doesn't it? Like, in the world, people grow two heads. So I was so paranoid because I was locked in a room 24/7, constantly thinking about conversating with people through a TV that I don't know that are real. Are they faking it? Are they not? It was horrible. The paranoia is disgusting. But I could talk to her during the day. But I would just sleep most of the day because I'd be so bored.
Did you couldn't have a phone? Did you have TV, music, anything like that?
Nothing.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'd lose my mind.
It was like prison with a couple of books.
That really is us. But, you know, both of those shows exploded and you've gotten all these really cool opportunities. And one of those things now, like you said, when people are looking at reach and audience and how many people you can actually watch these shows, Netflix is so huge. And your Instagram now, like you have almost 2 million followers. It's popping off. Like
TikTok.
How was that change for you social media wise to all of a sudden go to having millions of people looking at your pictures and videos?
Honestly, when I'm going to get really deep and vulnerable here. So when Taught to Handle first come out and the circle, it was almost like so much happened so quickly. I'd been on Netflix, Too Hot to Handle, which blew up. And I think it was like 1.6 million followers over the course of 2 weeks. Crazy. So like my phone, I would wake up in the morning. I remember it like it was yesterday. I would wake up, I would pick up my phone and I would go onto Instagram and I would check and it would be like an extra 250,000 followers daily. And I would just sit there and just breathe because the anxiety that I would get, that I had no idea that it was going to blow up as much as it did.
Yeah.
After going on the circle and then getting more followers and like the press and stuff like that, the pressure, like I'd never felt pressure like it. To like I felt like I needed to do well, like I needed to show everyone that I'm not a failure and right, okay, what can I do now? What it should have been was me enjoying the moment and enjoying the press and people coming up to me and recognizing me, when actually I was like, right, I need to make everyone happy. I need to impress everyone. Like, I'm going to get filler in my face. I'm going to get another boob job. I'm going to change my wardrobe and spend all my money that I earn on materialistic things just so people feel like I'm like really, really famous, because I was trying to fill a void that was inside me. And I don't know why. I just lost myself, like, when the shows come out. And that's one good reason as to why I'm really proud that I've got Banging as the podcast, because I can just be me and just fucking talk about whatever I want. And I don't have the producers penalising what I'm saying. And I don't have anyone telling me that I can't say this or can't do that. I can do what I want. I can say what I want. And it's a completely unfiltered, raw version of me, because I lost myself in the past. And now I'm like regaining myself and my self-confidence. So yeah, sorry, I ranted a little bit, but
no,
it's crazy because you got lots of ups and downs in the industry, and you lose yourself, then you find yourself, then you lose yourself. But yeah.
No, I think that's really important to talk about too, because I think we see so many people who blow up on social media so fast, and then the criticism comes so fast, and then the criticism for, well, if she starts to change some things, then the criticism either gets louder or it is definitely crazy. And it's interesting to hear your side of that, because I do think a lot of people go through that where they're like, I was able to look at myself and it was me one-on-one. Now I have millions of people who are making comments, and you have to learn to, like, it's about, you still have to have that connection with yourself before all those other people.
Yeah. And I think it's important for, people to hear too, like our listeners to hear someone like you talk about it, because they're the ones viewing the shows and following you on social media and following all these people on social media. And I think that sometimes people can get lost in it and they don't see you or other people as like real human beings. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, there's cheering going. If you can hear what's going on, it's like in our office, they're having some like literally nonstop cheering. But yeah, I think it is very important just to like, just humanize you guys and be like, yeah, they were on a great Netflix show, a couple of them, and you got this fame, but like also you are just waking up in your bed every day, looking at your phone, checking your phone, just like everyone else does, except there's millions of people coming in, and people don't put themselves in your shoes and be like, what would it be like if I was the one seeing all this and reading all of this?
Yeah. And I'm such a people pleaser. And it gets to a point where some of my friends and my family have to say to me, Chloe, not every single person that follows you likes you. It does not mean you have 1.8 million friends. It means just have 1.8 million observers, like they are watching you. It doesn't mean they're your friend or whatever. In my head, I'm like, whoa, guys, calm down, fucking hell.
You're like, they are my friends.
But then that also makes me think, well, do you know what? I'm just going to post what I want. But there are some things that I restrain from posting, like, because I love watching videos on my phone when I'm going to the toilet, like when I'm going for a poo. I love a good scrub talk. And sometimes I do videos on the toilet and I'm like, oh shit, I can't post that.
Well, I think that's the best part of having a podcast now is, like you said, you can totally be yourself. You could talk about whatever you want on your podcast. Like, it does not matter. It's your podcast. And, you may have like the 1.8 million observers, but when you have a podcast, the people who are listening to your podcast, like we've been doing this for a couple of years now, they are the true, fans of you, followers, listeners, and they become like your friends in some case. When you run into them on the street, it's like they feel like they're friends with you, and you're like, you are listening to me every day, so we might as well be friends.
Yeah, I love that. Honestly, someone gave me a great advice the other day. Your podcast listeners aren't your fans, they're your friends, like what you've just said, because they feel like they're your best friends because they listen to you all the time. Like, you're with them on their walks of life, when they're walking the dog, taking the kids to school. I'm really excited to be in the podcast business now because I can just chat shit and get paid for it.
Yeah, I think you're going to crush it. I think a podcast is absolutely perfect for you.
Definitely. And what kind of guests are you trying to have on?
Oh, to be honest with you, I'm not putting anyone in a box for the podcast because I love it when people get vulnerable, but I love it when people get dirty, and I love it when people are very posh.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's going to be the loud, crazy one that talks about sex and vaginas and oral.
Yeah.
And if they join in, they can join in. And even if they don't, that's still funny because it's like awkward.
I love it. I think it's great. And I think that everybody, as much as maybe they do talk that way or they don't talk that way, people like hearing it because, like you said, it's very like taboo, or like people are like, oh my God, I can't say that. But then other people don't really give a fuck and they'll just say whatever.
But I pride myself on like women empowerment and like, go you sis. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how many guys you've slept with or whatever. Like, you just be proud of yourself, own it. And there's so many stigmas And if I help one person, just one person that listens to the podcast, by making them feel more confident in themselves when they're in the bedroom or in a relationship or dating someone, then I've done my job.
Definitely.
I think you definitely will. I think that people will listen and you will make them feel more confident because you are very confident yourself. And I think that shows through your social media presence. And I think that will inspire a lot of people.
Oh, thank you, girls.
Well, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for talking to us. Everyone can listen to Chloe's podcast, Bangin'. Let's go. And you can, I'm listening to that anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, you can. And we've got a Bangin' YouTube channel, which is Bangin' with Chloe Veitch, and you can see the visuals as well.
Very
awesome.
Important.
Love when there's a visual aspect. That is great. So everyone can go subscribe to that. Chloe, thank you so much.
You're welcome, girls. Thank you so much for me on.
Thank you, Chloe. It was so nice meeting you.
Great.
Mwah.
Bye. Thank you so much. This was so nice. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, girls.
Bye.
I'll speak
Bye.
soon.
Bye.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Make sure you are watching all of our vlogs on YouTube. They are all out now, so catch up while we are not reporting to you live during the next week. We will be back on Monday, July 11th. I'm pretty sure that is, and Cutting Stems will be back that night as well as The Bachelorette. So we're coming to you full force that Monday. Everyone enjoy your 4th of July weekend and enjoy all of next week. We'll miss you guys, and we love you.
Vacation's all I ever wanted. Vacation had to get away. Bye, everyone.